The story of Elijah and the widow's oil and flour. Elijah, God's prophet, was guided by the Lord's voice. First, he drank from the brook Cherith, where ravens brought him bread and meat. But when even the brook dried up, God told him, "Arise, go to Zarephath in Sidon, and dwell there. I have commanded a widow there to provide for you, obedient to the word." Elijah journeyed to Zarephath. At the city gate, he saw her, a weary widow, thin from hunger, gathering sticks to kindle a small fire. Her clothes were faded, her hands rough from struggle, and by her side lingered her young son, his eyes wide with the sadness of famine. Elijah called to her, "Please bring me a little water in a vessel, that I may drink." She turned to fetch it, but before she could go far, he added, "And bring me, please, a morsel of bread in your hand." The widow stopped, her shoulders heavy. With sorrow in her voice, she said, "As the Lord your God lives, I have no bread. Only a handful of flour remains in a jar and a little oil in a jug. I am gathering these sticks so I may prepare a final meal for myself and my son. After that, we will die." Elijah stepped closer, his eyes full of faith. "Do not fear," he said gently. "Go and do as you have said, but first make me a small cake from it and bring it to me. Afterward, prepare some for yourself and your son. For thus says the Lord God of Israel, the jar of flour shall not be used up, and the jug of oil shall not run dry, until the day the Lord sends rain upon the earth." The widow hesitated, torn between despair and the strange hope Elijah's words carried. At last she obeyed. With trembling hands she scooped the last of the flour, poured the last of the oil, and baked bread for the man of God. When she returned to the jar, she gasped. The flour was still there. The jug of oil, once nearly empty, had not failed. Day after day she baked bread. Day after day the jar of flour and the jug of oil remained full. By her obedience and faith, she and her son ate, and so did Elijah, until the famine ended. The promise of God proved true. His provision never runs out for those who trust him. Moral of the story. This story teaches us that even in the darkest times, God provides for his children. Faith often requires sacrifice, like the widow giving her last meal. But obedience opens the door to miracles. Where human eyes see scarcity, God sees abundance. When we place him first, he makes sure our jars never run empty. Please like, share, and leave a comment. If you're not following us, you probably will not see us again. Follow for more.